Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to this month's Coffee Talk. My name is Lindsay Horton, and I am currently serving on the PWN Communications Committee with Jocelyn Driscoll, and next year I will be the Communications Chair for 2021. Today we're going to hear from Julie Schnitzer of Golf Fitness on strategies that you can implement to start healthy behaviors today. And I don't know about you guys, but some of my healthy habits have dropped off the last few months, so I am very excited to hear her presentation. And then before we get started, I'm going to turn it over to Megan Mertz for our new member introductions.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Megan Mertz. I'm the PWN membership chair. And so far this month, we have 4 new members. We have Roxanne Lynch from Monterey, sunny side of Life Online Marketing with Roxanne Lynch, first Canadian member. We have Tawny Cawthorn with Blink Brow. We have Lori Ciaccio with Monterey and Beth Powanda with BP Medicare Plans. So welcome new members.
All right, thanks, Megan. And I'd also like to take a moment to thank our October sponsor and raffle donor, Miss Debbie Campbell of Touchstone Crystal by Swarovski. And I won one of the raffles this month. So whoever wins today, you're going to have a ton of fun looking at all the beautiful sparkly items she has on her store. And so you'll win a $50 gift card to pick out on her Touchstone Crystal website. And then a few reminders. December 2nd is our virtual WODI Gala, so please mark your calendars. For those of you who don't know, WODI is the Woman of the Year. And so this year, instead of actually having a WODI, we'll be celebrating all of the legendary WODIs of the past. So it'll be really fun. There's going to be an auction, a live auction with different themed gift baskets, which are going to make great gifts for the holidays. And we're actually looking for a few more baskets to be donated. So if that's something you or your business is interested in, please let us know. I think all the baskets are due by November 7th. And additionally, we also will have sponsors for the event. So there's 2 sponsorship levels, a silver sponsorship at $100 and a gold sponsorship at $250. So all the details for those are on the PWN website, and they can be purchased directly online. And do we have any other announcements for today?
Okay. I have one. Yeah, just speaking about the Women of the Year today, we will be reviewing our mailing list. So I very much encourage to go on your directory, get your membership information, your mailing address, business address, whatever you'd like, just to make sure that we are getting those invitations for the WODI event correctly.
Perfect. All right, and if there's no other announcements, I'm going to turn it over to either Marion or Gina for our introductions today.
Marion, I think we'll do our introductions first. Would you like to take that?
Oh, I think you're on mute, Marion.
Why do I never remember that? So my apologies. Yes, Gina, I'd be happy to do that. So the member introductions, you can take up to about 30 seconds. I'd like you to hold to that if you could, and just tell us a little bit about your business or anything you have coming up. And I'll just call out your name based on how I see you on my screen, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to begin with Tammy Jones.
Tammy Jones, financial advisor with Edward Jones. On November 10th at 11:30, I'm doing a webinar. I'm going to have a special guest that specializes in Medicare. So for individuals that are 60 and older, whether you're working still and maybe still qualify for Medicare and you're not quite yet taking it, or even if you are taking it, there are some tips that you can have, and there's some changes that you can make if you want to. So I'm going to be posting the information on the Zoom link within the PWN Facebook website shortly.
Great. And you might also want to put it in the chat if you have it available today. That would be another option. I do not have it
available yet. Yeah, okay. I do not. Thank you.
All right. Very good. And Lindsay Horton.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay Horton. I will be the 2021 Communications Chairs for PWN next year. And then I'm also the owner of Social Monterey. So I help small business owners save time and build thriving online communities through social media.
Wonderful. Thank you. Jody.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Hi, my name is Jody Ray, and I'm the owner of Worthy Ideal Consulting. I'm an internet architect focusing on marketing, advertising, and web design. And I help generational and legacy businesses gain the most value from their marketing and advertising and their website. And I'm also the PWN technology chairperson running the website and all forms of platforms.
And for next year as well.
And next year too, yes.
Yeah. Great. All right. Gay Friedman.
Hi, my name is Dave Friedman. I am a happiness coach. I will be the program chair for 2021. And on November 5th, I'm running a happiness workshop. And if anyone's interested, they can either go to my website and look for Action for Happiness or connect with me.
Wonderful. Debbie Campbell.
Hi, I'm Debbie Campbell, and my business is Touchstone Crystal by Swarovski. And if anybody wants a quick tip on saying it, this is what they told me. Say swear off ski.
Swear
And then it goes, yes, I had to learn myself when I started. And I've enjoyed being the sponsor this month, and I have a few events coming up that I will post. I'm doing a Blingo for charity, which is a bingo with jewelry prizes once a month. I'm still doing a breast cancer research one this month and a couple other events. So you can message me for more details. Thank you.
Wonderful. And thank you for being a sponsor this month. Sandra Collingwood.
All right. Well, I've had great success with my mask here, only for introductions. But I'm Sandra Collingwood, and Super Spotter is my wonderful product. It's a remarkable spot remover with no odor. There's no odor because there's no harsh chemicals. So I dare all of you to take your spot removers and smell them because that's what you're spraying with. Anyway, Super Spotter can be used in a carpet cleaning machine, and you'll have wonderful results yourself. So contact me if you'd like further information. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Joanne Gessner.
Hi, I'm Joanne Gessner, and I teach the Transcendental Meditation technique here on the Peninsula. I've been doing this for 15 years in our area and since 1976 all over the country. And we have recently been able to teach TM using a combination of our in-person instruction and online meetings and online materials to great success. So my next courses are being scheduled for October and November. Several of my students had to evacuate, and they found that TM really helped them with the whole fire stress evacuation stuff.
I can imagine. Wonderful. Thank you, Joanne. Megan Mertz.
Hello, my name is Megan Mertz. I am the Business Development Coordinator for the premier local restoration company, Disaster Cleanup Specialists, as well as Floor Store USA's Flooring America and Cypress Design and Build for all your flooring, designing, and cabinetry needs. And I just wanted to, remind you guys that, it is colder out there right now. So we're going to be running those heaters most likely. So it's a perfect time to get your HVAC cleaned, because the last thing we want is to get more bad air into our home. So Disaster Cleanup Specialist, you got our number. If you don't, give me a call.
Thanks, Megan. And Gina Estrada.
Thank you, Marion. I am Gina Estrada with Estrada Associates and Espresso Brain. And what I do is I've created my financial services business by becoming a business network expert, author, and speaker. And so, when you go to work in sales, you do have to network. And I became an expert in that. And in fact, and most of you know, I've been really sick for the last 4 years. And just like a couple of weeks ago, I landed a huge 401k that's going to have other ancillary business just because I made a call. You know, do you guys pick up the phone anymore? That's what I do. And it creates business quickly, even when I'm not in front of them. And I've been a shelter in place kind of person for a long time because I always had to protect my immune system. So I appreciate you. And time's up. Thank you.
Lori Blacko-Jean, she is going to be our showcase today, but wanted to say a few words now.
Yes. Hello, Lori Blacko-Jean, owner of Divorce with Dignity in Monterey. And I'm looking forward to talking to you guys, telling you more about my business in a few minutes.
Great. Julie Schnitzer, you're going to be our speaker, but why don't you say a few words too?
Hi, everyone. My name is Julie Schnitzer. I am the owner of Adigal Fitness in Pacific Grove. I help women feel like powerful badasses in their bodies so that they can be at their highest level of success, vitality, and confidence. I coach in-person, outdoor, safe, socially distant workouts currently, as well as online training. The outdoor is an ongoing program. The online training is a 12-week habit and lifestyle transformation reset. And I look forward to the brain dump that will ensue soon.
Perfect. Denise Kaku.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Denise Kaku, Kaku Business Consulting and Leadership Coaching. I help businesses grow, expand, downsize, any type of organizational challenge, strategizing and doing tactical planning so your business runs smoothly. Also recently certified in soul collage work, and I am going to be ramping up a regular series, reoccurring series on creating soul collage cards, which are a beautiful way of connecting to your inner soul. Denise Kaku, Kaku Business Consulting.
Thanks, Denise. And Janie Arguello, would you like to say?
Hi, everyone. I'm in the car. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. I am Johnny Arguello, and I own the Abdominal Detox Center. I specialize in traditional Chinese medicine, medical massage, certified acupressurist, prenatal, postpartum, certified as well. I specialize in abdominal detox work, which is great for releasing tension and stress, anxiety from the central nervous system, which in turn releases pain from the body head to toe.
Thank you. All right, so let's see here. Let me just get this off. Let's see, Mary Schwartz.
Thank you. Happy Thursday, ladies. Mary Schwartz, and I help customers, entrepreneurs, businesses gain and retain their clients with a very simple system. And actually, I have a couple workshops coming up, as well as I'm opening up some just basic appointments for the upcoming holiday card sending season. So it's a card that you actually can put on, cards that you can put on autopilot that can go out throughout the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. So you can connect with me on that. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Wonderful service. Let's see here. I am going to go back to Gina. She has a second business. And oops, I just got your note, Gina. Do you want to go forward and do it again? No? Okay. All right. Have I gotten everyone? I think so, from what I can see. So I'll just introduce myself. I'm Marian Gelletley. My company is Powerful Presence. I've been in business for over 25 years. I'm an image strategist and wardrobe coach, and I help women feel wonderful, especially those that are going through some type of transition. And right now in 2020, I am doing virtually all my work virtually. So whether it's style and in your closet or color or just helping with first impression and especially Zoom first impression, that's what I'm doing this year. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, so now I will put it back to Lindsay.
All right, I am so happy to introduce you to Julie Schnitzer. I miss seeing her in person, but we get to see her on the screen today. She is with Annual Fitness, and she's the owner, and she took a big leap of faith in opening her business. Today's topic is small adjustments over time lead to progress. And she says, you have permission to unapologetically wear your yoga pants. I can't wait to hear what she has to say about that. She's really excited to be speaking with us today. And as part of her mission statement, she emphasizes the importance of meeting people where they are in their health and fitness journey. So know that you are perfectly equipped to participate in your way, at your level, at your pace, and make all of this training uniquely your own. Julie's goal is to leave all of us feeling energized and revitalized for the near term, but also thinking seriously and strategically about small changes we can make over time to be at our optimum health. So prepare to stand up if you are able, to move around, open yourselves to new ideas, and uncover the powerful positive force in you. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you so much, Gina, and thank you everyone for having me here today. I'm honored and excited to have this opportunity to be here. So with
Julie, I'll give
said,
you like a 5-minute and then a 2-minute, okay? Does that work for you?
What is my time?
You get 40 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So springboarding off what Gina just mentioned, if you're willing and able, please rise up out of your seats. And don't forget to maybe adjust your camera. I've been noticing sometimes when I say to do this, we're looking at a lot of people's waist and other things that we might not want to see. So take a look at what the camera is pointing at. Again, totally your option. Everything that we're doing today can absolutely be done from a sitting position. And I invite you to just watch me bounce around and do my thing if that is your take on this today. But go ahead and stand and just move around a little bit, play in your body, just do something different than what you've been doing today. As I get started here, and I want to start with a little story. So last night I was running through this talk with the greatest audience of all time, my 10-year-old daughter and my 8-year-old son. They're very forgiving, but they're also some tough critics. So my 8-year-old said, "Hey mom, will you tell me that fitness joke that you were going to say?" So I said it all again, really proud of my fitness jokes. And then he plays on his little gizmo watch the sound of crickets chirping. So if you think my jokes are cheesy, just know that you're not alone. There's an 8-year-old boy down the street who's chirping crickets right there with you. But anyway, I try to keep it interesting. I have so much to give you today, and I've really tried my best to compress everything into some nutrient-dense topics, bite-sized pieces, and that was one of those cheesy jokes. So I've gone ahead and broken this down into 3 parts, and we're just going to begin right off the bat with some movement, just get the blood flowing and get oxygen to the brain, and again, just play in our bodies. The second thing that we're going to be talking about is very tactical, actionable, practical advice on habit formation. And I'm borrowing the work of James Clear. He breaks this down into 4 laws, which we'll be talking about. And then the third thing is nutrition mindset and raising the level of consciousness about the fact that we all make trade-offs to be at our current weight and body composition. And so what does it actually take to change that or to be okay with that? So let's begin with some nourishing movement to get, like I said, get the blood flowing, get the brains moving. And again, do this at whatever pace you'd like. I want to make 2 points before we get started. Number 1, your body is the boss. So listen to your body's instructions. They are always more important than my instructions. If something feels great, keep going. If you're getting some feedback in the form of pain or discomfort, listen and stop doing that thing. The second note is on emotions, and namely to allow them. You know that when you get your body moving, you push a button in terms of your body's biochemistry, which is so cool. You're going to be decreasing the level of cortisol in your body as you move. It is an extraordinary power. And I will say that in my 10 years of coaching, I've literally instructed thousands of sessions, and 100% without fail, the before and after happiness factor is always an upward curve. So have fun with this. Enjoy. We're going to begin, and you can do this in a standing position. You can have a seat back in your chair, or if you so desire, lay down on the floor with your feet planted. And we're simply going to put our hands to our rib cage, so that you can experience the feeling of your breath. So on your lower rib cage, we're simply going to breathe. So we'll be taking an inhale through our nose and exhale through the mouth, as if you're blowing through a straw. So almost pursing your lips together to blow through a straw. And I'm going to talk you through this with some different cueing. And I need to get my own clock pacing because sometimes my talking goes at a different level than your breathing. So let's begin with a breath in through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. And inhale, pressing into your hands with your rib cage. Exhale through the mouth. And inhale. On the exhale, you're drawing your navel towards your spine. And inhale. And exhale. And one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Congratulations, you've just triggered your body's relaxation response, and you can do that whenever and wherever you want. Oh, my thing is still going. My timer started an ad. Okay, so give yourself this magic anytime, any day, and notice how it decreases your blood pressure. Feel free to chime in on the chat if you did experience that thing. I'd love to hear your feedback here. In fact, anytime throughout any of this, go off mute if you want, or pipe in on the chat if there's something that you want to add to this, or correct me. I'm not a guru. I'm just here to inspire. Okay, next up, we're gonna move our bodies as I promised. So first thing first, take a little step back, and we're simply gonna round out the upper back. Bring your pinkies towards each other in the front and feel the space between your shoulder blades. And then opening up our chest, bringing our thumbs together in the back. And then back to the front, we're taking our pinkies toward each other. Here we're exhaling. And open up the chest, thumbs together on the inhale. And we'll do a few more rounds of that. Pinkies together in the front. Again, feel that space between your shoulder blades. And thumbs together in the back, inhale. One more time, pinkies together. And one more time, chest is open. Even through your biceps, feel that stretch. Doesn't that feel good? It's the best. Okay, from here, let's just do some arm circles. Again, if that feels good, stick with it. If you have any shoulder issues, listen. I have a client who is a doctor, and she was just doing some continuing medical education credits. And so she was on Zoom calls for like 8 hours straight. And I was so excited to hear she was doing this while the instructor was teaching. Why not, right? Feel free to go off Zoom. You're wearing your yoga pants anyway. Might as well do something with it. Okay, from here, if it feels good, we're just kicking back. So kick your heels up toward your bum and arms are coming back. Just getting the blood flowing a little bit. Couple more times. Good. Okay, come back to standing, and we're just going to do a couple side bends. So take your fingertips to the side of your legs, and we're just going to trace our fingers down toward the outside of our knee, tipping. Waist stays stationary, and then switch fingertips toward the outside of your knee. Feel that space between your hips and your ribs. And switch. And one more time in the other direction. Okay, one last thing. I would love to keep going on this, but I want to talk too, so we'll move on. But okay, next up, let's plant our left foot. We're going to do a little balance while we do mobility. You're going to lift your right leg as high as it can go, knee is bent, and then bring it around in a circle. So see if you can do that without tapping your foot down, drawing a big circle with your knee. So you're kind of trying to keep your hips stable and listening to your body. All right, one more circle. And switch sides. How's that for some balance practice? Okay, knee comes up and circle around. And I always love to take note of how this might feel different than the other side, and that's okay. Different side, different story. Asymmetry is beautiful. One more circle. And rest. All right, how'd that feel? Somebody go off mute. Be the brave soul. Anyone?
It feels great to move.
I like that.
My hip popped, so it needed some stretching.
Oh yeah. Oh, I meant to say that up front. Snap, there's a lot of snap, crackle, popping going with everybody, and that's okay. That's another beautiful thing. Okay, so now that we've gone ahead and mapped our body, the way I like to think of that, I do start a lot of workouts that way, kind of mapping the body from top to bottom, because it's different every day. You know, some days there's some tightness somewhere that wasn't there yesterday. So you get a feel for what's going on before you start doing squats and lunges and hinges and things like that and loading it with weights. So it's all good to have that familiarity. Okay, and I've talked about this next thing, but I've talked about it in prior meetings. This is huge to me, and it's one thing that I feel like I want to talk about just a little bit everywhere I go, because it's a complex movement that Americans get wrong. So I'm going to talk about the hinge, and I am actually going to put an article in the chat that you can read or kind of skim as we're playing here. It's an NPR article talking about the difference between the C bend or the table bend when we're going down toward the ground. So as Americans, if we're going down to the ground to pick something up off the floor or to look at something on the floor, oftentimes we lead with our head. So chin goes to chest, and then we round out our upper back, and then we're in this vulnerable position. We're putting pressure on the discs of our spine. In many other countries where they're not so much in the front of their bodies, they get the instruction to go down to the floor, and instead they use their hips. So the hips go back. So in that article, there's a couple good visuals on ways to kind of work on that. I see you doing that, Lori. Good job, Sandra. You got it. Practice that a few times. I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to screen share here a video. Can you see me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so this is my real life hinge. I'm going to show you. Right here, I'm peeling a cucumber, and see how my back is flat. It's not rounded out like a cashew. That would be nuts if my back was in the shape of a cashew, right? I stole that from the article. Okay, Next up, this is me loading the dishwasher with a table-shaped back. So keeping that back flat, lifting up the laundry basket, using the hips. Use what God gave you, ladies. Use your hips. Okay, so that's it for that. We could go a lot deeper on that, but essentially what you want to try to capture with that type of movement is use of your hamstrings and your glutes, your strong muscles, as opposed to the more vulnerable regions of your back. So something to keep working on. Okay, switching gears a little bit here. I'm gonna, not to use the overused word, but I'm gonna zoom out and talk bigger picture here about healthy habits in general. Now, everyone in this room must have something you'd like to switch up a little bit when it comes to your wellness. And I would love to hear from you in the chat. Is there a habit that you would like to work on? Is there an unhealthy habit that you want to break? Or is there a healthy one that you want to develop?
Hi,
Be
it's
brave.
Johnny.
There's...
Hi, it's Johnny. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, so the habit that I'd like to break is carbohydrate and sugar addiction.
Well, you're obviously not alone. I don't know if you can see the chat, but you're not the only one to say something along those lines. Sugar addiction. Okay, Jody says more flexibility. Mary says more water. Okay,
I'd like to eliminate my snacking at night for no reason.
Okay. I'm going to do another share here. I put together this little infographic. It's not that detailed, but we're going to kind of walk through this. So as I mentioned, one of my favorite authors on the topic of habit formation is James Clear. Note it. He's on a couple podcasts that are great, and he has some books of his own. It's simple, and it's all about what Gina said in the introduction: small habits, little progress over time that lead to big results. So when I work with my clients, it's never about, let's switch everything in your life and have you go to a completely different diet and different lifestyle. That never works. It's not sustainable. So it's all about, what can you do, a small action today that's going to lead to bigger results down the road. So he talks about the 4 laws of habit formation. You can all see this, right? Okay. So number 1, if you're trying to develop a habit, these would be your 4 laws. If you're trying to break it, obviously you just do the flip side of this. So let's actually go through the example of breaking a sugar addiction. So if number 1, the law is to make it obvious, the opposite of that is to make it not obvious. So I know that this is pretty straightforward, but for something like breaking your sugar addiction, it might be as simple as not having sugar within your view. Does anyone have anything to add to that that comes to mind as like how to make sugar not obvious?
Don't buy those sticky pastries. Don't
Yeah,
bring them in the house.
Don't have them. Easier said than done, right? Because especially if you don't live alone, sometimes you don't have control over that. We're going to get into, so Gay, I saw your comment. We're going to get into something that relates to that in just a minute. And Jody, same. Actually, in fact, let's talk about that now. So second law is make it attractive. So when dealing with a sugar addiction, how do we make this unattractive? So this is my take, and I would love to hear your input on this, but to make sugar unattractive, there's, if you Google like effects of sugar, there's all these websites out there that have like 1,000 reasons why sugar is damaging to your genetics, your brain, your muscles, your energy levels, your sleep. So that makes it pretty unattractive. Any other comments here? Okay, if you come up with something, feel free to add it. So make it easy. How do we make accessing sugar difficult? I'll give you mine and go off mute, chime in if you have yours. When we have candy in the house, and I try to make it not obvious, but if we have it in the house, it's like on the top shelf that I can't actually reach without getting out a ladder. So it just makes it so it's one more step, raises that level of consciousness to get at it. Does anyone else do anything to make it hard to get to?
I just don't bring it in the house.
Yeah.
So late night when I'm doing the cabinets, I always say, oh, there's nothing here. It's really sad.
Right.
Yeah. Same with carbs.
Yeah. Okay, so how do we address this with like late night snacking?
Well, when I get a chocolate craving, what I've done is I've quit buying all that prepackaged stuff, and I've made a healthier version of chocolate truffles, which are very tiny chocolate drops with raw almonds and cranberries in it, and some dried coconut, and I freeze them and hide them in the freezer.
So then do they have to be like defrosted? So you have to wait in order, or you eat them
No,
frozen? Okay.
I eat them frozen because they're little, small, like 1 inch, 1.5 inch diameter, but I take little bites, and that seems to satisfy. There's no added sugar. It's 70% cacao, but it satisfies that chocolate craving for me. And I limit it to just one because one is plenty, and it's satisfying.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Denise. I will mention something else here that I've heard is that, and I can't get technical about this, but the sensors in your brain that where you have like your sugar craving is very close in proximity to your thirst mechanism. So oftentimes it's just a matter of drinking, like chug down, half a bottle before diving into your treat. And it might help with that. Okay, unsatisfying.
This is a good book too, Julie. It's called Sugarettes. Really good book.
Sugar what? Sugarettes?
Sugarettes, like cigarettes, sugarettes.
Oh, good. Okay.
And it's by Dr. Scott Olson. I don't know how long this is written, but
Gina,
he's a
will you put
naturopathic doctor.
Would you mind putting it in the chat
yeah,
just
I'll put
so
it
we
in
have
the
it?
chat.
Okay.
Sure.
And then as far as satisfying, I don't know. I struggle with this one as far as like sweets and junk food, how to make it unsatisfying. One method I've heard is to like write a contract with yourself or write a contract with an accountability buddy or with your team that you would literally have to break if you broke that deal with yourself. So I want to turn really quickly to go back through this. If you're trying to, I'm kind of a Pollyanna, so I want to make this positive and end on a more positive thing here. So I've definitely used these 4 laws to try to develop my own meditation habit. And obviously that leaks in amazing ways into all other aspects of life. So in terms of making meditation obvious for me, I've scheduled it on my calendar. It's an appointment with myself and it's unmissable. So that's the obvious law. Next up, attractive. I've set up a space for myself in my office that has a beautiful chair, a beautiful plant, and a cozy little blanket, and I just want to be there. So it's very attractive to me. Easy, especially when I struggle with meditation, sometimes it's like, okay, it doesn't need to be for an hour. It doesn't even need to be for half an hour. Maybe let's just sit down for 3 to 5 minutes and feel good about the fact that I'm still on track with that. And then satisfying. What did I have here? Well, obviously meditation in and of itself is satisfying. I think in the past, I've actually played little games with myself. Like if I do keep a streak, like I'll take myself out for coffee, a special occasion or something. So it needs to be aligned with the other goal. Obviously I wouldn't go get ice cream for myself because I've done my meditation practice, but anyway, I love the framework and just kind of how it helps to trigger some ideas for how to hold things. One of the examples that James Clear gives in his book, Atomic Habits, he says that he himself really wanted to work on like a workout exercise routine. Do you have it, Gina? I love him. He was on,
Yes.
later I might put this in the chat too. He was on the 10% Happier podcast recently, and it was like just knowledge bombs. It was a good one. Anyway, he was trying to develop his own exercise habit, and he wanted to start swimming, but he friggin' hated it. And so what he decided to do was just commit to going to the pool. And so it took him like weeks, but all he did was he just drove to the pool. And then before you know it, like he drove to the pool and he would get out and get dressed. And then eventually he would get out, get dressed, and actually get in the pool and maybe like swim a lap. So it was just like a little bit, and he made that okay. I think that's what's interesting about our culture. It's like all or nothing all the time. So there's beauty in this, and just allowing for small little bite-sized pieces, and before you know it, you have the momentum. So any questions or comments or ideas? Joanna, I'm sure that you had a lot going on when I was talking about meditation. So
yeah, so that first suggestion you had, that's exactly what I tell, especially our busy CEOs, about getting in their meditation, because the key, especially for transcendental meditation, is to do it twice a day regularly. So we would tell them, just make an appointment, just like, you know, a doctor would make a patient's appointment. And the usual time of meditation is 20 minutes twice a day, which is also that nice, you know, size bite of meditation. And so make an appointment for 30 minutes so that they're not disturbed and they can come, you know, come out easily and quietly and not get disturbed. And that really works really well. And for all the younger people, you know, they say, well, I just forgot. And then I said, well, you have a phone? They said, yes. So just put an alert on the phone. And then, you know, that's your time to meditate. And it's good to have a sort of a regular time of meditation, because the physiology gets used to it. But, you know, if you can't do it right then just reset the alert and then go for it. And then also the thing about the technique that I teach is it's very easy to learn, very easy to practice, and it's only 20 minutes twice a day. And so people want to do it because the results come.
And that in
there's all
itself is the reward, right? To have the results.
Well, it's not that we're meditating for the experience of the meditation itself, although that's very charming most of the, you know, a lot of the time, but we're doing it for the results in our activity. And that's really the proof of the pudding, you know, is how is life going after you meditate? If things are going better, then, you know, it's a successful meditation, even if, you know, one is more settled than another. And the experience is just going to change depending on the condition of the physiology. And then when you were talking about food and habits and food habits, there's a whole branch of knowledge called Maharishi Ayurveda. And it talks about everyone has a particular kind of physiology. And so there's certain foods that are great for, you know, your particular physiology. You can take a little quiz on the website to see kind of where you fall. And then also how you're eating. It's easier, good time to have your main meal is between 12 and 2, because that's when the digestive fire is the highest. And don't eat after 8 o'clock at night if possible. There's all kinds of things like that you can incorporate.
And this springboards right into what I'm about to talk to, going back to the introduction with the three things that we were going to hit on here. So this kind of segues, so I appreciate that. I'm going to share my screen again. This is a common infographic that's shown kind of in the nutrition coaching community, and it's called the cost of getting lean. So although what it does here is that we kind of go through this spectrum of unhealthy, where we're looking at over 30% body fat, through a healthier range of, I'm looking at women here, the 25 to 30% body fat to another healthy zone, 23 to 25%, and getting into, as we move through this, an unhealthy. So we're talking about like bodybuilders and competitive athletes, especially, you know, fitness models and things like that. So what I really love about this is that in each of these categories, you can see that you're making a trade-off. So if you're in this range where you're an unhealthy weight, where however you want to define that or work with your doctor to define that, what is it that we're trading off here? We're trading off our health, our energy levels, our life expectancy, and risk of metabolic syndrome, perhaps the need for medications. So what I love actually the most about this is that if you go from this unhealthy category into the next couple, it's a very easy transition. So it's simple things. So what we name here is eating slowly. And this is such an uncommon thing in our society, just slowing down, taking 15 minutes plus to eat your meals, maybe not eating in the car, guilty, including 1 to 2 palms of protein dense food, 1 to 2 meals per day, and spreading the protein out through the course of the day. And then of course, exercising 3 to 5 times per week. And again, going back to the habits, we all know it's easy to go for a walk for most people, 20 minutes a day. We got that. It's a matter of doing it, right? So, and again, I love how this infographic kind of points out as we go down, look at what we're having to trade off to be at this level. We're having to require a lot more planning and attention to the diet. So you're having to give a lot more energy to those things, taking up just a lot more mental bandwidth. And of course, like needing assistance and coaching to achieve these kind of things. So there, all of this does come with that cost. And then of course, you know, we see the magazine covers, we see the less than 16% body fat cover models, but really what does that take? Like the trade-offs here are tough, it's rough. It's, you know, you can't socialize in the same settings that most people can. Major commitment to measuring and weighing and tracking all your food. So I love the balance of this because we're seeing that, you know, wherever you are, you're either satisfied with it or hopefully you're working on it. And I think this infographic really helps to kind of just raise the consciousness of that. Personally, I like living in this world where you're trading some things off to be at a healthy weight, but it's in balance. So that's the kind of, to wrap that part up. Let's go off.
5
share.
minutes.
We have 5 minutes. So I, at this point, am going to leave it open to questions.
Julie, would you mind sharing that infographic? I would really like to absorb it in detail.
Yeah, that was fast. I would not mind at all. I will paste the link in the chat.
It's super helpful.
I've been fascinated with that one too.
Julie?
Yes.
Are you taking comments? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I love chocolate, and sometimes I used to eat them before I went to bed. And I found that if I just drink like a hot cup of chocolate, used with hot water, not hot milk, it's really very satisfying, just something warm and chocolate. So just wanted to add that for chocolate lovers.
So are you throwing this out there as perhaps a technique to obtain that level of satisfaction without having to go overboard? Okay.
Yes, and also before bed sometimes.
Okay.
And be sure and brush your teeth. That's
afterwards.
or not brush, if not brushing, if you've already brushed, rinse your mouth out.
I mean, and I would say with anything like that, if it's working for you, that's great. So, and that's what I really challenge my clients to address is like, if there's this rule out there, does it matter to you? And I think that's kind of what the infographic points to also. Like, sometimes the rules can be arbitrary, and it can be very specific to you if it's not an issue. If you can have your chocolate and sleep well and be happy with your body composition and your energy levels, then yeah, it's all good.
Thanks.
Any other and does anyone want to chime in and tell us? We can be your contract here if you want to make a commitment toward a healthy habit or something that you're wanting to give up.
I always say if it's not on your calendar, it's not going to happen. And I lost a lot of weight recently by, like Julie said, spreading out the protein throughout the day. And I still continue to maintain because I'm really conscious about it and know that if I have 3 dinners out coming up, I sandbag a few pounds. And then of course, then I could eat a little bit more. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's how I'm able to maintain the weight. So I'll go down like 3 pounds. I'll go down 1 pound for each restaurant I'm going to go to.
Oh, wow. I'm sure a lot of that could be sodium and water intake afterwards.
And it is, yeah. So anyway, so you just have to get serious about it. I think put it on your schedule, think about it every single day, make your plan ahead of time. I always look at menus before I go to restaurants and plan out my diet on my little card I carry with me every single day. So
nice.
There's no question.
Mary, I saw that you are committing to at least 48 ounces of water a day. So you have this army of amazing women behind you, and you've got this, and you're committed. You're on the hook. I struggle with drinking enough water as well, so I get it. But you can do it. And you're going to notice a difference if you do. So don't forget to, go through those laws of habit formation and reward yourself for doing it in a way that's aligned with staying hydrated, but then also recognize the result. I think that really feeds that flywheel. It keeps things going, and it'll keep you with that habit. So Gina, do I have time? 1 minute? Debbie, did you have a question?
Oh, I did, because the biggest thing I'm working on now, because I work with a health coach and I gave up sugar and grains because I had some blood sugar issues, and it's really been impactful. But the biggest thing in my consistency on the movement and exercise has to get better. Do you do online classes at all?
I do.
Okay.
Let's talk.
I'm in Pacific Grove too, but let's talk. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. This was fun. Congratulations again on getting up out of your chair, lowering your blood pressure, and just trying some new things, exploring some different thoughts. So I really appreciate being here. This was fun.
Thank you, Julie. We appreciate you, and we can't wait till we get to meet back in person. But I wanted to let you know our next meeting is on November 4th. That is our program meeting on Wednesday night. Roxanne Lynch is our speaker for that. And then, as mentioned before, December 2nd is our WODI reunion, where we're going to honor past WODIs. It's going to be super fun. I can't wait.
All right, well then I will go ahead and introduce our showcaser today, Lori Blacko-Jean. She does Divorce with Dignity. She provides individuals that are contemplating divorce a safe place to talk and consider their situation without having to turn to litigation as a first step. So Lori, you can take it away.
I am the owner of Divorce with Dignity, and I'm going to show you my card because that's all I have now is for visual. This is me. This is our icon, which shows people together leaving and going their separate ways. Okay. And my goal is to have everyone participate in a divorce with dignity. So let me tell you a little bit about how I came to that mindset. I'm a seasoned attorney licensed in the state of Florida for the past 20 years. And I specialized in litigation, family law litigation. Okay, so I've seen the mental and emotional turmoil that litigation can cause, and it's bewildering. There's a lot of unnecessary traumatic events. For example, just recently, I spent 2 weeks preparing for a hearing, came to the hearing, and the other side didn't show. And, you know, that's thousands of dollars this client spent hiring me. That is really just a waste because the other side just didn't show. So it can be just very traumatic. So this was my other visual, but it was in bright red, if you can imagine. This is what divorce is like for people. It's just a lot of terms, a lot of things that have to be addressed. Property issue, it's messy, it can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be that way. Divorce with Dignity is a national network of divorce support professionals who will help you keep control of your situation. Because when you hire attorney, the attorney's in control, not necessarily you, okay? And we will help you receive an outcome that is cost-effective, safe, and as easy as possible. And we provide divorce support in all areas of the process, okay? I also, so you could have a peaceful divorce. And I have some, I call them fun facts, but I use quotation marks because is it really fun? But 46,000 divorces are filed almost every week in the United States. And statistically, the average marriage, there's a 50-50 chance when you get married that you will file for divorce in your marriage, okay? And what is not widely publicized is that 70 to 80% of divorces are resolved amicably, okay? And in our office, in my office, there is no pressure to force you to do anything that does not feel safe and comfortable, okay? I provide divorce planning and facilitation, okay? And that is, I also call it coaching, because if you're thinking about divorce, most people, like I said, think about this, okay? And it can be intimidating. But if you sit with me, I will tell you the process and we will break down what are your concerns. And we use tools such as mediation, where both parties can sit together and discuss and come to a resolution about issues that they are in conflict with. And then at the end of the process, I prepared the legal documentation. So my ideal client is someone interested in an amicable divorce. But then I wrote, well, really anyone getting a divorce, because I believe most people don't realize that they could have an amicable dissolution of marriage. There does not have to be a divorce with a war. Both sides do not need to lawyer up to achieve their goals. And I'm also looking for referral partners. And referral partners are people who possibly family therapists or divorce therapists, realtors, credit counselors, attorneys, CPAs, and accountants, because I believe that we can offer each other, you know, we could surround our clients really with competent help to get them through this difficult transition. Okay.
Oh, well, good job in spite of no PowerPoint, because it is a tough thing to go through, that's for sure. Yeah, thank you, Lori.
I really need to learn a skill with this stuff. I fake it all the time. Fake it.
All right, well, I'll pass it back to Gina. Close this up.
Debbie Campbell, can you pick a number between 1 and 16? We have 16 participants today.
8.
8, okay, let me go down the list. Denise Kaku. She gets the $50 gift certificate from Debbie Campbell's Swarovski crystal.
Wow. And I was just thinking about getting a hold of Debbie to place an order.
Yay. Well, just reach out to me.
I will.
Thank you.
I'll look you up and email you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Lindsay, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, sure. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much, Julie, and thank you so much, Lori, for your presentations. And we'll see you guys all next month for the evening meeting. Have great days, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
Dave. Nice seeing you all.
Nice to see you.
Take care. Have a good week.